Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the Manchester United edition with my host, my co-host, Tommy. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good. What about yourself?
Let's just get straight into it.
Yeah.
Man United played horribly, and I think the thing about today is that it was so bad that this is going to be a stream of consciousness. Honestly, this podcast is just more of a stream of consciousness because there are so many things in this game that like basically capsulated and just like scripted our season. Um, I don't even know where to start, honestly. I think that the thing that frustrates me the most about this whole entire thing is we predicted it during the week.
Yeah.
We predicted it during when we got Coventry. I knew that Haji Wright and Phil and Illison was going to score. I knew that despite how bad Coventry have been in the championship, United will still somehow find a way to go full United. And the thing that frustrates me the most about this whole entire situation is the fact that like it's the same mistakes over and over and over and over again with this manager. But yeah, I'm gonna let you wax lyric. You can go ahead because I'm trying to gather my thoughts and trying to not say bad things. So go ahead.
There was like before we hopped on this, I was talking to some friends and they're like when you're up 3-0, it doesn't matter about the subs. As a player, as a professional player, you still have to see the game out. And I agree to an extent. Like, of course, like you're a player, you get paid for this, you should be able to see the game out. But this still is on the manager. You know, bringing in Anthony won't work. You know, you're like the substitutions he makes and the way he sets his team up. And mind you, I wouldn't say we played like in the first half and like most of second half. I wouldn't say we played well before. It was just Coventry just weren't good. They were getting the ball in our area. They just weren't getting shots off because they're a championship team. And there's only it's and like you said, we predicted it. And that's another thing. Like we all knew. Every United fan you knew. They were like on the timeline ever, they're like, oh, we got our successful hate watches for all the other teams. Now Ten Hag gonna do something and we're just gonna lose all that dopamine. And that's exactly what happened. Like Ten Hag, the players, it's just idiots everywhere. It's idiots all over the pitch. It's idiots on the sideline. It's idiots in the board. Hopefully Ineos can come and fix that, but it's just stupid people everywhere. And the biggest bozo out there was Erwan Bissaka today. I don't know what he was doing out there. It just wasn't going forward. He wasn't good. Defending, he wasn't good, which is like supposed to be your only strong point. It was just stupidity all over the pitch, and I can't. I feel like we've said like I've been on this podcast for like I've been for a while, like a good chunk now. There's nothing I can say today that you or me hasn't already said before.
Bro, it's like you can go back last week, go back to the week before. You can keep going over and over again. And the thing I think that frustrates me the most is people who think that Eric Ten Hag should have time. I'm a big believer in giving manager time, but when it doesn't look good, and it's like a relationship, you can tell when the writing's on the wall. There's no point to prolong it anymore. And I think the thing is like Craig Burley assassinated him on TV. Craig Burley said the man in the blue suit is an utter embarrassment to Manchester United Football Club. And Eric just looked passive. You know, there was a point towards the end where he just looked like he just wasn't involved mentally, physically. He just wasn't there. You know, a lot of players did not play well. So someone in one of my group chats was saying how like United players are down tools. Like if they generally down tools, he would have been fired in December.
I promise you.
These players are generally trying to just like no offense to them because I know football's a hard sport. Some of them aren't that good, and you can see it week in and week out. Marcus Rashford did not play well today. I have to put my hands up. That's my boy. Marcus played horribly today. He looked like he was scared. He looked like he was hurt. I don't know. But there's a lot of things that Eric Ten Hag does that like confuses me. Like McTominay played practice once this week and started him immediately. This is no offense to him. I know the younger players are young, but you also like Max Oyedele there. You have so many younger talented players that like just give them a chance.
Yeah.
You know, Barcelona are struggling right now. That's how they found Kubasi, the kid that the 17-year-old kid. You sometimes listen when your back's against the wall and you're injured. It's just, you know, we're gonna get into it, but that's part of his fault why these players are getting injured. I know his training mechanisms are.
Yeah.
He still think, I don't know, but Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the same thing over and over again. But fair play to Coventry. I mean, Mark Robbins, ironically, is the guy who saved Sir Alex
Yeah,
Ferguson's career,
literally.
who's now probably going to end Eric Ten Hag's career. So shout out to Mark for helping us on either side. You're a great legend, so shout out to you. But it's just overall, I'm just confused, man. It's like there's only but so much memes, only so much jokes we can make because man, like I don't even know if I can even finish this podcast in English. My brain is just switching to Yoruba, like I don't mean,
Um,
like.
it's a frustrating thing, and some of the stuff you touched on, I really do agree with. Like, bro, your back's against the wall. There is no reason Harry Amas, the left back, the kid, he's 17 now. Let's see what he can do, bro. Like, what's the point of having them on the bench? Erickson, if Erickson can play, so can Maxi. Please.
The thing that frustrates me the most about it too, I mean, you're saying that it's just like there's so many things you keep trying over and over again, it doesn't work. You keep trying to put on Anthony, you know he doesn't work. You keep trying to put Amram Basaka left back, you know it doesn't work. Like putting Casemiro at center back today was just, I guess, whatever, man. But
Mhm.
it's just one of those things where you just look and it's just like the writing's on the wall. Like Jason Wilcox's face, what's his name, Jim Ratcliffe's face. They could say but only but so much in their face. You could tell like they're pissed. And these are guys who know stand up excellence. Like Jason Wilcox won the Premier League with Blackburn. He was the City Academy, so he knows what quality football is. You know, he played at the highest level. So
Yeah.
it's just like these guys can, if we can see it on our TVs in America, what do you think the guys in Wembley in the press box can see? What do you think they can see? Because clearly, I know a lot of people want to make jokes saying, "Ha ha ha, you guys gonna keep your manager?" No, I'm telling you right now, that guy,
He's
it will
done.
take a miracle for him to stay at United. I think that this might have been one of the worst United, like worse than the 7-0. This is worse than a lot of different things I've seen. This is worse than a lot of things that David Moyes has done. This is worse than a lot of things that Van Gaal has done. Mourinho, um, Oli, even Ralph, like this is by far probably the worst day post Ferguson. I personally believe. I think that today really encapsulated what is wrong with Man United. And like one, there's not enough good players, enough technical players. There's not enough players who have that. And I hate to use this colloquialism, but have that dog in them. There's not the players that like genuinely like give a fuck. There's players who try, but they're just not good enough, and you see that all the time and the manager doesn't help it out. I think that like your manager is supposed to like alleviate the issues in your team. Now when I look at Pep, right? Pep gets that much more out of players, right? Like I remember when Raheem Sterling was saying like Pep would teach me how to put my foot on the chalk and where to run and where to beat. I can 100% guarantee this coach. He seems like he's very passive, and I'm not trying to like. Obviously, I'm not in training every day. I don't know what he's
Uh-huh.
doing. I'm not trying to like assume, but it seems like he's very passive. He seems like he's very scared, and it seems like he's very timid, and it shows in himself. Am I wrong? Am I tripping in saying that?
No, there were. I think was it last week? Yeah, it was last week where we played Bournemouth. Even the
Hmm.
manager said it. It was like you can see the Bournemouth manager gearing his team up, giving them instructions, and Ten Hag just sat there with his arms behind his back. And as cliche as it sounds, sometimes you just need a manager to like yell at you or inject that enthusiasm. And yet he does. He doesn't have that. And I've never. I've always been one of those people that's like as long as the manager is able to get his directions across clearly, maybe it doesn't need to be rah rah, maybe it doesn't need to be that. But at this point, it doesn't look like Tanag is even able to get his instructions across because everyone looks lost out there. Everyone looks lost
Every
out there.
single player, bro. It's like the thing that confused me the most today was just like when you took off those guys, you bring on Erickson, bring Anthony for what? Ahmad played well. Bring on Ahmad. You don't need to take off Garnacho. I mean, you already keep playing him 32 games in a row. Might as well keep him on since that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Take off Rashford. You can see Rashford is clearly limping. He's not himself.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way they play with Rasmussen, you're not getting the best out of Hoyland. They turn in Hoyland into something he's not.
It's and my that's my thing. He's turning the way he's playing Rasmus and Rashford to get. I don't get it. Like I'm, you know me. I'm number one supporter of Rashford fan club. And
Mhm.
Wan-Bissaka, every single time Rashford has the ball, he either is double teamed so he can't dribble, or like he dribbles into an alley, which is where I will say he does need to do better. Don't dribble into alley. Or and I'm this one. I'm not sure if it's him, if he's tired, if he's injured, or if it's instructions from Ten Hag. I notice he hangs back a lot. Like he will hang back at the halfway line or just a bit forward, get the ball, then either try to play a overhead ball to Rasmus or switch it or just play back to the center back, and then it's just that same sequence. So this one I'm inclined to believe it's the manager giving him that instruction, and then the manager telling Garnacho to be the one to run. Because when I see that, like I see constantly. So and that's not the type of player Rashford is. So it's a manager asking him to do it. But even that Rashford still need to do better, absolutely. And Rasmus, all the I saw like a couple games of him at Atlanta, so I'm not gonna pretend like I'm the expert, but those games and even the like clips and just like videos I watch, his game. Correct me if I'm wrong here, because I know you watch way more Serie A than I do. Is it not him running in behind? Is it not him
Mhm.
running at defenders? Why are
Yeah.
you turning this man into a Patrick Ewan posting up, doing big man thing? No, it's not. That's
That's the
not his
difference
game.
between a smart coach and a terrible coach. Like Gasparini knows what he's doing with
Yeah,
him. Gasparini really got the best out of Hoyland and like knew what he was doing. He's still a baby. He just turned 21. He's still raw, and it's just like you don't thrust a young. And this is my problem with Eric Ten Hag is like you can't keep thrusting young players into like now, contradicting myself obviously because I not long ago said Maxi should be playing,
yeah,
so I don't contradict myself. What I'm saying is like at this point of the season, man, like it's just a wrap. Like what we got next, Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United
and
and
Burnley.
Burnley next.
Yeah.
Those are the games you need to blood in your youngsters, man. Those are the games you need to bring those guys in and it's like, you know what, man, forget it. I'm just gonna just put these young kids in.
Hmm.
But it's just frustrating watching this over and over again as a Man United fan, bro, because it's just like we know what the issues are at the club, top down.
Yeah.
And excuse me, they keep making it worse and worse and worse, and it's just like, yo, at some point this has to give. Like this generally has to give. So who knows, man? I generally like I'm coming from a place like it's almost like as if we lost. We didn't lose, but we did lose. That's what it felt like.
Listen, when you blow, and actually, I remember you brought up this the worst performance since Sir Alex left. Funny enough, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this is the first 3-goal lead we've blown since he left. Like,
Um,
and the last goal and the last 3-goal lead was on his final game against West Brom, where Lukaku had like a hat trick or four, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna give you some stats about Man United. It's gonna make you laugh. Man United have conceded 2 goals in 11 minutes in the fourth round of the FA Cup, 2 goals in 2 minutes in the quarterfinal, and now 2 goals in 8 minutes in the semifinal.
I'm sorry. This is gonna. What more do people want to see? No, like I want to know. Like they say, give the manager time. What more do they want to see? Not only did he, not only is he complaining about the sandwich, he cooked the sandwich. He picked the ingredients. He turned on the oven. He did all this himself. Like he did all of this himself. This is on him. There's no, like I used to like. I think this might be a good segue for a question I have because you brought it up earlier. So we're gonna talk about the injuries. I used to be on the side of that, like you're right. These injuries are crazy, so maybe we do need to give you time. But after a while, that many injuries, there's only so much bad luck or what are the physios doing I can take before I'm like, okay, like what are you doing in training? Because remember when Rasmus got injured? Was it right before the Liverpool game? And then he said, "Yeah, we're doing some high intensity sprints," and he got injured. Bro, it's towards the end of the season. What are you doing? Aren't you're supposed to be managing their bodies, getting the tactics right, and rotating. And then speaking of rotating, when you don't rotate, stuff like this happens, bro. And it's so frustrating because 60 plus injuries. I remember when they announced Varane, Mount, and Amrabat were injured during the week. I saw we've had 60 plus injuries this season. That's not a coincidence. I
My
don't care.
thing is,
Hmm?
my thing is, Sofian doesn't even play, so how's he getting hurt?
Bro, that guy that begged, he Sofrin begged for us and Ten Hag begged for him. Now that man can't even sniff the bench. Mm. So like those 60 plus injuries, it can't be just like. Do you think Ten Hag is like doing like what do you think is his training style or his playing style or what is it?
I think it's a bit of both. I think that he has a very specific way that he wants to play. He said it over and over again.
Hmm.
I just don't think that that sort of style is healthy or conducive in the Premier League. I think that you forget that everyone in the Premier League is fast. Everyone is strong. Everyone can fill in gaps. Everyone can hit you on the counter. And the human body can only take so much. And I think United players' bodies have hit that wall. And I think that because of the way he's trained his players, that you're starting to see a lot of leggy legs out there, man. And the season cannot end any sooner, not just for us as a fan base, but for the players too, and like for the owners, because there's a lot of heads that need to roll. I think that today was summed up the season. I think it summed up Eric Ten Hag, and I think that it's time to cut ways with him. I think it's time to just like say like, listen, you tried, we get it. It's a tough job. You didn't get the right backing, you didn't get a good board, but going forward, this new board can't run. You
Yeah,
can't have this no more. And I think that it's just an amicable divorce at this point. It's like everybody has to go their separate ways. Because his training methods, his everything is not good. I can tell like he doesn't exude confidence. I think that you can sometimes tell when a certain manager like makes you want to fight and run through a wall, right? You can know like it's like a manager at your job. It's like a teacher at school. You get just certain
mhm,
favorite teachers. They're just certain favorite like managers and
yeah,
bosses you work with. I think that what made Sir Alex Ferguson special, what made Mourinho in his prime special, what makes Pep to this day very special. Carlo, I'm gonna keep running off list of managers right now. Even Johan Cruyff, Frank Rijkaard when he
Klopp.
was at Barcelona. I mean, he was at Barcelona. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going because honestly, like this is just a big example. Even David Moyes when he was at Everton. Like you look at like these managers who stayed at places for so long and won things. They have a certain charisma, a certain even Zidane at
Hmm.
Madrid, right? That is certain like Guspa about them, right? They have a certain like coldness about them that made them know that that's the man. Even Klopp at Liverpool, right? Like even when Klopp is leaving, these players are gonna die for
Yeah,
Klopp. They know that. I think with Eric Ten Hag, like he's a nice guy, but I don't think that he has that ability to make dudes want to run through a wall for them. And it doesn't help that his tactics aren't that sharp either. And it's even Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. Like I know people are asking, "Oh, was Mikel successful?" These Arsenal players want to die for Mikel, bro.
that comes like this. I guess I think this might be a topic for the Arsenal thing, but that question was so stupid to me. Is Mikel Arteta successful? Are you guys not watching what Arsenal is now compared to what it was before? But you're right. Even for example, the Champions League that just happened, Madrid against City. When Jude was giving the interview, he said, "I caught the boss Carlo yawning, and I asked, 'Oh, you tired?' He said, 'Yeah, you need to go out there and excite me.'" And Jude was like, "Oh, bet I'm ready. Yeah, I need, I need to go do something, go win." And they won. So stuff like that, like you know your players, you know how to motivate them, and you know what will get certain players going, or what will get the team going. And again, I'm not in the locker room, I'm not in the training, so I won't, I can't speak on all that, but I can speak on what I see. And what I see is players who just like they're doing this for like themselves and like the pride of the team. It's not that they don't care about him or stuff like that. It's just he's not helping them. Like this man just on the sideline, just holding his hand, just watching your defense get bypassed. I mean your midfield get bypassed. Watching your wingers isolated with two fullbacks, or your center back or your striker fighting two center backs with no help or no runners. It can't keep going like that. Like it generally can't.
Bro, what just frustrates me is just like Mark Robbins could smell blood in the water, and he made changes. I think any smart coach knows when to make changes, when to change it up. Eric just kind of is very passive and like makes the same subs over and over again. Like I think that trying to make Anthony a thing is gonna be his downfall. Trying to like, and his signings like outside of Lissandro, man, a bit of Rasmus because he's still young, but not that successful.
At
Truth be
all.
told. Um, I like Mason Mount as a player. I like what he did at Chelsea, but spending that much money on Mason Mount was silly.
In his final year of
Um,
his contract too.
yeah,
Don't forget that.
it's just I don't know, man. It's it's just the writings on the wall. And like, even yesterday when that leaked out about how he's going to possibly go back to Ajax, I was like, you don't do that before a semifinal, man. Like
It's like
I know that's your guy over there, the mirror. I know that's your guy, whatever. But bro, before a semifinal, man, you can't be tweeting stuff like you can't be saying stuff like that, man. You can't be leaking information like that out. But listen, man, United got it done. At the end of the day, they
yeah,
game ended 3-3-1 in penalties. Onana stepped up big, was a good save. One of the guys sent his penalty all the way back to Hastings, wherever the hell, just sent it over the pitch.
yeah.
So United caught life and got lucky, but that semifinal against City, tell you right now, is going to be bloody. It's not going to be the most fun game to watch if they continue to play the way that they do. United have how many more games do they have left this season? They have Sheffield United, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Arsenal,
Newcastle.
Newcastle,
Yeah.
and Brighton. So the season's basically done with the FA Cup final. But Yeah, man, it's not a good look.
Oh no, yeah,
It's not.
this is one of them things where like we're just sputtering to the end of the season. Like we're just the wheels have almost fall off at this point. Just got to make it there. That's literally it.
Yeah,
And it's one of those again. This like I always say, just win me the final, and you can go back to Ajax or wherever. But yeah, no, leaking that like you said, that was very insane. That was so crazy. I was
yeah.
like, I don't get it. That was so crazy to do.
And I'm at this point where it's like I don't even have nothing else to add because it's gonna start to like a therapy session on this podcast. But there's no tactics I could break down. There's no like anything. I think at this point, like everyone knows like the writings on the wall, and I think he knows it too. Like he's kind of reserved now to realize like, yo, I'm cooked, I'm finished, and just got to see the rest of the season out. I'm just trying to see if there's any like quotes that he had out post game. Um,
It's gonna he's gonna say
Nonsense.
don't I'm about to say don't tell me what if you found it. He's probably gonna say we deserve to win that game. We controlled everything aside from a few moments. They didn't create anything, and oh, they were lucky to get a penalty. It's gonna be some variation of that, and I'm just gonna it's gonna make me angry. Also, random. Why did Casemiro take the first penalty?
I really was good. Like, I'm sorry for everybody who's watching for me looking down. I apologize. I'm trying to find some quotes. But what I'm saying is just like Casemiro, like the players' body language, Casemiro, everywhere just looks finished, man. Everybody looks like,
Oh, it looks
you know,
done.
do you remember what the Coventry fans were saying? You're getting sacked in the morning. Like,
Are they wrong?
Anthony cupping his ears. Like, what are you doing?
No. Also, when
Like,
when Casemiro was stepping up to take that penalty, I legit tweeted, "Who is taking our first penalty?" And then he missed it. I was like, okay.
I think the thing that just like really, really, really grinds my gears is just how passive a man that he is. Like that, like I don't like that, man. I really don't.
Oh, right, man said you're not a real one. Like you did
I mean,
that
look, at the end
you're
of the
using
day,
that Drake line on Pusher. You're an approachable dude.
yeah, you're a very nice guy. Um, Man United basically have appointed a new CEO, new technical director, a new sporting director is going to be there, and it's like we said, it's looking like Eric, it's time to
Yeah.
go back home. Um, Honestly, I generally will fire him before the game against Burnley this week.
Yo,
Sheffield United, sorry.
listen. In my as soon I swear to you, as soon as it hit 3-3, I said you cannot let him get on that team bus. I don't care if we scored in the last minute or won in penalties. You cannot let him continue in this as the manager. Ha- Bring bring Ole back as an interim. Don't keep him permanently, please. Let's not let's not get into it. So remember what Ole was. But yeah, he can't continue.
Honestly, like somebody tweeting the timeline, bring Adam Lawrence, U18 coach, let him coach the rest of the season.
Bro,
Bring,
also congrats to the U18 by the way.
bring. I don't know who's made as U21. Travis
Travis,
Binion,
yeah,
Tom Hiddleston, Mark Dempsey. Bring one of these guys. Hell, bring the women's coach. Bring somebody. Just bring
literally,
somebody into the season. Because at this point, like it is a bad relationship, and everybody, exactly what a bad relationship is. Everyone that's
yeah,
listening, you've been in a bad relationship. We've all been in one. Stop playing around like you don't know what a bad relationship is, and you know the signs on the wall, but you keep going. Stop going.
exactly. It's
Do,
toxic.
do you have anything else you want to add, man? Because I'm tired of talking about Eric Ten Hag.
Honestly, congrats to the women's team for also reaching the FA Cup final. So that should be fun. Uh,
A
hopefully one
city
of
united, men and women. We got men. You got Man United men and women in the finals.
you can,
So,
so hopefully
we'll
one
we'll
of them
see. We'll
wins.
see. Yeah, hopefully both,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see. But you got anything else? I know I cut you off there.
Nah, you're good. Besides that, just again, I said it for the past couple episodes. Bring me the trophy and you can go.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Manchester United edition. Continue to support. We're going to be heavier on YouTube. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys for always listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also comment on the podcast. We need some of your reviews. We'd like to hear what you guys think about what we're doing. But appreciate you guys so much. We are set up better than Eric Ten Hag. He's set up a main at midfield. But we're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off.